This episode is presented by DoorDash. Use promo code SITWITHUS at checkout for 50% off your first order of $12 or more.
Ramble.
Thank you to DoorDash, Chime, and Next Evo for sponsoring this episode.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of You Can Sit With Us. I'm one of your hosts, Becky, and I'm joined by Maggie.
Hello.
Ariel.
Hi.
Matt.
Hello.
Our podcast pixie Miles. Yes. Our picks at Rainie. And a very, very special guest. We have Sarah Bonsignore on the podcast today.
Hello. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Well, thanks for coming. We're so excited to have you again. If you haven't listened to our last podcast episode with Sarah, she tells us the amazing, interesting, honestly quite strange story of how she found her birth father.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do remember that.
Mm-hmm. And she wrote a play about it.
Yes, I have a one woman show that's coming up next week on the 27th and 31st. It is sold out, but we'll find another date, I think, in November. So,
deets to come.
In conclusion, everybody, Sarah's having a show, but you cannot go.
You cannot.
Sorry. She is so popular, and it is completely sold out.
So love to have you come, but you can't. But don't worry, folks. There's going to be an opportunity real soon.
Round two.
Yeah, but it has been really fun to work on it, and Miles has been great helping me rehearse.
Miles is like, what's she going to say? What's she going to say? I don't know.
No, my director, Catherine, has been wonderful, and everyone in my house has been wonderful helping me prep. You know, I did the show before the pandemic, and I was not pregnant, and so I could be on lots of caffeine and rehearse, a lot. And now...
And did you do one night the last time?
I just did one night, yeah. So I was like, it was the first time we're doing the show, and then we had a bunch of scheduled things, and then the pandemic hit. So this is but now it's a different type of rehearsal.
Right. So Sarah just dropped that in there.
Yeah, sorry, not a good reveal.
Everybody, guess what? Miles and Sarah are having a baby.
That's right.
Miles has nothing to do with it. It is cooking inside of Sarah right now.
Just this morning, I realized that I'm going to have to go into labor. I have really not thought about it. I have not
I think it's
thought
part of the
about it.
shtick, yeah.
Yeah, I just like my mom said it was just like a big old poop. She said it wasn't bad.
Okay.
So
So usually if it wasn't bad for your parents, then you're probably going to be fine.
That's what I was thinking. My mom actually had me in a room full of mirrors.
Why?
Of course she did.
Of
course she did.
Every angle. See
yeah.
every angle.
Well,
That tracks.
It was the hospital was so full that day that when she came in, the only room they had
was
available
the mirror room?
was the Hall of Versailles.
was the stars room. The stars room was the room where doctors learn. So with different mirrors. So my mom though had gained 70 pounds during pregnancy and wasn't really happy about going into this room to give birth.
No.
So I can imagine it was terrifying for her, but I loved it, I'm sure.
I'm sure she has good memories now.
She can't look anywhere. She can't escape.
I thought it was going to be like a hippie, like,
Oh, no.
we have the room of mirrors so you can see
sounds like
and
I could just
connect.
watch.
You are the first thing that your child sees is your face.
Yeah, it's really self-reflective. Yeah, it actually sounds like a clown, like a
Oh no.
Actually,
Yeah.
I wonder if it worked out that the first thing that you actually saw was yourself.
wow.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Wow, Ariel, I have to think about this.
Add it to the list.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you remember?
Yeah, I remember. You know,
Remember it
you guys
all.
don't remember? I actually was talking about this the other day. It would be traumatizing to remember.
I think that's why you don't.
Yeah. 100%.
That would be awful. Someone I knew was like, I would love to. And I was like, oh.
No. That's why they call it.
Seems messy.
There's like the 3 months after you give birth.
Yeah.
The baby's sort of in this like postpartum stage where they're trying to cope with with being on the planet and not inside their like warm little they're because like imagine being inside of somebody's belly. It's loud and warm and you're constantly being fed. Like you don't have to all of your needs are met. Right. Whereas if you're a tiny baby, you're like, wait a second, it's light out here and like I'm kind of cold and I just hit myself with my hand. Like, like that sucks.
It's an adjustment period.
Definitely an adjustment period.
Yeah, wow. I've never thought about it that way. You have to adjust. The only other side is it does seem boring in there. I've thought about it. Doesn't it? I've thought about it. Like, no.
Yeah.
But like, what do you
Can
think?
you kind of not see? Right?
Yeah.
So you're
I
not
think
really.
his eyes are quite
Yeah.
open
So you're
yet.
like feeling, hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got all
Probably
this,
hear more.
it's kind of like one of those soak tubs at Pause Studio, right? That they
Yeah.
have those immersion tubs, right?
Yeah.
The float tanks.
Yeah.
True.
The sensory deprivation.
What is this book I read when I was a kid? My friend's dad is Wally Lamb, this author who's incredible, and he has this incredible book that when we were in high school, the dog just put the microphone closer to my
Like, talk louder.
talk louder.
She's like, go for it, Sarah. Go off.
Going off on this book I read. But basically, this part of the book is she was had to go back to her the deal with her trauma was to go into the pool and to like go back to like immerse, which I don't know if that's a real form of therapy, but I think it is.
I think it is.
Born again.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a baptism book. It's all about that. No.
I don't think I'd want to remember that.
No.
All the blood.
That's what I was saying. Too messy.
Too messy.
You're just covered in
It would be like being in a
protective
pool,
stuff.
though.
Yeah.
Like,
I can go for it.
if you're a baby, like being covered in blood isn't that weird, right?
Ariel's a sicko.
Welcome to You Can Sit With Us, Sarah.
She's like, what? I love blood. I want to be immersed. Put it all around me.
Put me in a pool
Yeah,
of
give me
blood.
that amniotic fluid.
Would I float or not?
Have you been pulling a lot of that? I'm pregnant. Like, I want to
Like
be
only with
I'm
Miles?
pregnant.
Or
I,
2 o'clock in the
I
morning.
wish I had
has-
this. I'm pregnant.
Can you hand me the remote?
I have done a
I'm
little
pregnant.
bit of that. Yeah, that's why definitely even before I was showing, as I told everyone, I did gain 30 pounds trying to get pregnant. So I was showing before I was showing, which is fun. So I got to use that pregnancy bump excuse before. I think
There
someone's
you go.
like, your bump's so cute. And I was like, yeah. I am only 2 weeks, 3 weeks pregnant. But yes, that bump is adorable.
Nice.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, I will say, we see it in the movies, we see it everywhere. Your husband's supposed to, or your partner, whoever is supposed to fawn over you. And I really have told Miles this multiple times a day. So he has been scrubbing
waiting
and
for it.
cleaning, scrubbing and grocery shopping.
yeah.
And this morning in the car, I was like, it's weird because you said you were going to get nectarines at the grocery store, and I just wanted to. And there weren't, and then he goes, there were peaches, and I was like, right, that would have been a great option. He said they were too hard. This seems like it's not interesting, but I would just like everyone to say, too hard of a peach, you buy that.
And you
put it in a paper bag.
Yeah. But Miles didn't appreciate me maybe telling him all of this after he's been kind of fawning over me and grocery shopping. But I have to have something
Sounds like
come
you
out
need
of
to
my...
step it up, Miles.
Yeah,
That's what I'm hearing.
That's what I'm hearing.
I gotta get the peaches.
I'm building fingernails. So, as I've said, screaming in a hormonal fit. But yeah.
That's awesome.
Has it been very hormonal?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so the first trimester, I was pretty sick. It was like, I mean, it was weird. I didn't throw up. I didn't like wake up and throw up, but I was just hungover all day.
Yeah.
I was just like
Napping.
Yeah, I was so exhausted. And then like I thought it was all done. And we went to Italy for a wedding and it was beautiful and it was gorgeous. But but then I started kind of feeling like, even at the day of the wedding, I was like, oh, I'm not feeling like myself. You know, I had to give this big speech and I was like, oh my gosh. I know. And I just wanted to feel like myself. It was so hot. I don't know if it's Florence or it's global warming or both, but it was hot and I was pregnant.
You know.
Yeah. And we were in full summer. It was hot. Okay. I get the togas, you know, like it makes sense.
Easy.
And we were walking in Florence and I just held Miles's hand. I was like, we have to go back to the apartment. Because I had totally shit myself.
No.
Oh yeah. And not just like a little, like, you know, we all have moments in our life.
Like a toot where you're like, oh, that was wetter than
that seemed wet, you know. Hey, it happens. Oh no, this guy went down my leg.
Were you wearing a dress or pants?
I was wearing a white dress, a white big dress. Okay, so here I am walking down the beautiful streets of Florence, you know, just pregnant and newly married, and I have diarrhea going down my leg, hitting my shoe, and oh yeah, and I had to be like, hey, we're gonna have to go back, and I was like, why are we going back? We just left. And I was like, trust me, man, we want to go back, and then we had to, you know, in the heat go back, and somehow I missed this billowing white dress.
That's good.
I know.
amazing.
God looked down on me that day.
He's shown his love upon you.
He shone his light.
I got you, boo-boo. Don't worry.
I still wore that dress. I was like, fine.
Well, there's no poo-poo on it.
Yeah, there was no poo-poo that I could see.
I mean, you basically poop in dresses anyway. You know what I mean? Like if you're going in a toilet, the dress is still near poo-poo.
Very good. At first, I was like, I haven't pooped in a dress before, but yes, you're right. When you lift it up,
I love that. Becky, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All of Becky's dresses are poop dresses.
Yeah, exactly. The particles have gotten on all of our dresses because they do.
It gets everywhere.
The particles go.
We're
up.
all covered in shit right now.
Yeah, we're all, and isn't that beautiful? We are.
We're all just amongst the
First
poo-poo.
blood.
Microbiome.
No
poo-poo.
Yeah.
So I would say the first trimester has had its ups and its downs, and then mostly too. And I'm sure you know this. You're just like every day, and I was just like, well, I don't know how long this is gonna last. You know, you're just like, but I could not tell like my friends and people. You know, like you're not supposed to tell anyone, but I can't keep a secret.
Yeah.
You're like to go through this and then to not tell someone
Because you're waking up every day and it's the first thing you think about.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you want to share that with people.
Yeah.
I totally feel it.
I took like a zillion. Miles was like, you have to stop buying pregnancy tests.
Because you wanted to be 1,000% sure.
Well, no, it was like weeks in. I was like, well, I'm gonna keep seeing because then I was like, maybe it just stopped developing. You just become so neurotic, you know?
Yeah, you become kind of paranoid about.
Yeah, and you still are, you know, you're still like, oh God, like, and then all those like blood tests.
Welcome to the next 18 years of your life, you know?
Oh God. Yeah, I know.
You're always like, even when they're not in your body anymore, you're just like, God, are they okay?
Well, the only good thing I can think about that is then I guess it is nice to stop thinking about yourself as much.
100%.
Right?
Love that.
Because I'm so bored of thinking about myself sometimes. You know, like I'm constantly worried about me. So it'd be nice.
Worried about me.
You know, like
Silver linings.
you know, like how, oh my God, that person thought I was weird or that interaction went so terribly. And now I'll be like, is he alive? Good, right? You know?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Replace one worry with
You're
your
like, you
Priorities.
like you have a weird interaction with somebody and you're like, fuck that. Like,
Yeah, who cares? Right? Yeah, or like, oh my God, I gained 5 pounds. Like, who gives a shit? You know,
Right.
like, yeah, all those like worries that seem so big are just replaced with more all-consuming, bigger life worries.
yeah.
That sounds so
Sounds
fun.
like a better place to be.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, guys.
When you put it that way.
Beautiful
you know?
journey.
Miles, how do you feel about all this?
I'm stoked.
So,
You're
stoked.
Your opinion is
Daddy Miles.
That's right.
well. Speak on it more.
I'm
Then
not mic'd.
very
He did
good
that on
point.
purpose.
Yeah.
He did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Give me my mic.
Okay.
Oh.
Give you my mic.
his voice. He gave his voice to you.
Voices to you.
But yeah, I think we're overall like excited and nervous, and you know, and you know, I don't feel ready in many ways, but I just feel like fuck it. you know, like it was time. So, and, you know, 2 weeks after I met Miles, I said, I wanted a baby by 35. And he said, I already did the numbers. So it was like,
Let's go.
He's like, I know the math.
actually, I found in my phone in September 2020 a video of me recording a handshake with Miles saying we would start trying in a year. Oh my God. I wanted it on record.
Oh my God. So did you actually, like, you started trying like immediately when you guys were ready?
After married? Yeah, a little bit. Like we weren't like, you know. Yeah, I said
ya.
that. Cash. I was like, yeah, we're so cash. We're so cash.
Yeah. I get it.
I think we were definitely cash at first, but then you quickly yeah. But
I thought initially you were gonna say that you found a calendar invite to you of like when the deadline was.
well,
and it
That'd be pretty good, too.
30 minutes before. Is this piece of plastic in your wallet doing enough for you? Because with the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card, you can start building credit with everyday purchases and on-time payment. That's the magic of Credit Builder. You can increase your credit history with no annual fees or interest. And having a higher credit score can mean getting better car loan rates or renting apartments easier, or just bragging rights around the dinner table.
I would have loved to have had a way to build credit when I was younger. I had no idea where to even start with credit.
So continue your credit journey with Chime. Sign up takes only 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/sitwithus. That's chime.com/sitwithus. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by Stride Bank NA pursuant to a license from Visa USA, Chime checking account, and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply for the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card. Regular on-time payment history can have a positive impact on your credit score. Impact to score may vary, and some users' scores may not improve. When I was in college, I would have absolutely loved to be able to order food that was not in my cafeteria. There are only so many days you could eat mac and cheese, grilled cheese, plain cheese on toast. Sometimes you just want to order something different, and I absolutely would have loved to have DoorDash. Get the back to school savings you really want and get unlimited free DoorDash delivery with Dash Pass. Just $4.99 a month for students. How worth it? It's so worth it. With zero delivery fees, exclusive items, and more than 25,000 members-only offers nationwide, Dash Pass by DoorDash has everything you need to make this semester memorable. Dash Pass for students gets you delivery in an hour or less. You could even get it in between classes.
For a limited time, our listeners can get 50% off when you spend $12 or more on your first DoorDash order when you download the DoorDash app and enter code SITWITHUS. That's 50% off up to $15 value on your first order when you download the DoorDash app and enter code SITWITHUS. Don't forget, that's code SITWITHUS for 50% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change, terms apply.
all right, Miles, don't kill me. You can take this out. But you were like, I want it to be romantic. And I was like, I think it's past that. Can we just
Can we go?
I can't make it romantic every time. But Miles really wanted it always romantic. And I was like, he's dying. You can exit it out, Miles.
Sarah was there for business.
Well, I'm always there normally from it, but it just is stressful. You're like, you know, like you're just like, okay, we have an opportunity. Like,
There's like, light a fucking candle, let's go.
Yes. I'm like, yes, I love you too, sweetheart. You know, but also, you know, God, and then there's so much pressure. You know, it's just it's an entirely awkward situation. Yeah. While we were trying to get pregnant, because I'm neurotic, I've jump a lot. Like my neuroses, a lot of times are like, I had this, you know, weird interaction with someone, like I'm a fucking loser, you know, or like, I didn't get this role, I'm a failure, you know, or like, we had sex and I didn't get pregnant, I'm infertile, you know, like I jump, and what I'm trying to do is not to jump, you know, to like walk it back and be like, hey, is that rational? We're like, hey, why are you jumping? But of course I did jump throughout the pregnancy, and I even like got that thing where they like wash your uterus out, or like not wash, they put an ink to make sure. They take an ink, you go to the hospital, it really hurts, and they put it like on your cervix, and they put an ink to make sure to go through.
It's like a tattoo.
It's like a tattoo. Yeah. It's like, I was like, I'm dyeing my uterus.
Just so the baby knows where to go.
I was like, I
Love
want
in
color,
there.
like add it a little. Just want a little flavor.
It's like painting the wall.
Yes, painting the walls. Yeah, just to make sure the ink goes through and it all works. But a lot of people say that sometimes also clears it out. Like, and then I did get pregnant right after that. But like, it might have been like coincidence or whatever. But it was just. Poor Miles. You guys don't understand. He was just sitting there as I was just so neurotic, and he was totally not worried, and it was painful for him.
This is why you guys are gonna make great parents.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna be like, oh my god, like no nuts, no this, no that, and Miles is just throwing stuff into the thing. It's like as long as they eat, it's cool, Sarah. Just go.
Yeah. And then we're opposite in many ways too of that, where I'm like, Miles wants to train the dog. I don't care. Certain thing. Miles wants a well-behaved dog. I'm like, too hard.
I just want to sleep in my bed.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I tried, it didn't work. Okay, I tried for a month and it was too hard. I really tried that month.
That's a long time.
It felt like forever.
Yeah,
it was so terrible.
That's every day for a whole month.
Yeah, I know. And I know we have to, all right, for anyone, I know I have to train the dog. I know.
You have to train your kid too, so get ready.
I did not listen talk about it. At least the kid can eventually talk back,
So can the dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen Bunny? Bunny talks back.
Bunny is fake.
You can't convince me. Bunny is.
Bunny is all sentient.
Asks existential questions.
So if you're not familiar, there's this dog that a woman trained
On TikTok.
On TikTok. I think it was actually viral on Facebook first. So like all of our parents saw him first. I did watch a very small documentary about Bunny.
There's
like,
a documentary.
Stop.
You've been radical.
I don't know. It was a bunny documentary.
A mini-mentary?
I have to watch.
Yeah. Who produced Bunny? But Bunny there's a big talking pad that has a lot of buttons on it, and it'll be like, Bunny, hungry. Bunny, walk. And the dog will walk over to it, and it'll have these questions and be like, Bunny, life?
No, it also does like, what is life? And you're like, no.
Bunny, you don't know what that means.
I love dogs, but he's not like, who is God? Like, I'm sorry. I can't, there's not a frontal lobe to do that. I don't know. I just can't buy it, but maybe. I guess. I'm sorry for all the bunny believers.
Bunny leavers.
The Bunny Leavers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe it is. I'm sorry.
I mean, she said she trained him a lot. So it's mostly like a food. It's like it's dogs. You
Right.
Give them a treat, they do the thing.
I know. My only beef is the existential ones.
Yeah, I don't think God should be on a
I don't
dog's
know. I think I just made that up. I don't think they have God in there. I think I did make that one up. But the bunny has asked existential questions.
Yeah.
Well, God is dog spelled backwards.
Right. Oh, Ariel, very good point. Very good point.
God is definitely a dog.
What does it mean?
Oh my God.
What does it all mean?
God is definitely a dog.
Duh. We're morons.
That always reminds me, there's a play. Have you ever seen Dog Sees God?
No, I haven't, but I have heard.
It's like a very, every college puts it on.
Yeah.
It's like a very bizarre Peanuts where they're all suicidal, essentially. That's very sad, and you're like, oh, Jesus, the Peanuts. But whenever I hear dog and God, I'm like, oh, the Peanuts.
The peanuts. And I'm kind of the first to have a baby amongst my friends. I mean, some friends are having babies, but we're all LA women that decided to wait, So a lot of us I felt like when I got married, I was the blushing bride, and I was 34. But I was like, I know it's too,
blushing bride.
I was like, I know it's too early, but I love him. I couldn't help myself. So there were those moments, but I feel like it was just we could have waited in so many other ways. Like I'm like, I financially in all these different places, I could have been in a better spot or my career, all these different things. But I just knew to be like, fuck it, let's just go for it. And Miles agreed in a signed document. No, I'm kidding.
There was a handshake.
There was a handshake. There was a handshake that I filmed like a psychopath. I met Miles. I was 30 and he was 24. And I was like, yeah, right. Like you're too young. That's hilarious, But I will say, where was I? Everyone's always like the age difference. Oh my God, you're 6 years older. I'm like, if this is in reverse, no one would say shit.
It's true.
100%.
It pisses me off. It's starting to get to me. Like even at the wedding, they're like, and Sarah's so much. Sarah's. I was like, fuck off. Like I dated every guy I dated before Miles was at least 6 years older, and it was so normal. And it's partly because of like the baby stuff. So it gets like starting to get me boiled up. But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just sexism. So it's like everyone's just like, oh, you're with a younger guy, and I'm like, 6 years. Like
I mean, we even see it with celebrities though. Like,
Yeah.
what's her name was dating Pete Davidson.
oh, Kim
Kate Beckinsale.
Kim
And Kim Kardashian.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. And Kim
Kate
Kardashian.
Beckinsale?
I follow her. She's wild. I follow her on Instagram. She looks incredible, and she is wild. I don't know what it is. She
She
loves
has a
these
zest
big
for life.
She does. She has these big, chunky, like go-go boots. She wears a lot. It's wild.
Go on.
It's wild. There's not much to say other than that. I don't know.
She just loves them. Wait, so is she like the next in the line of people who is dating Pete Davidson?
No, she dated him
years
before,
ago.
years
Oh,
ago.
a while
Yeah.
ago.
And it was in the news all the time because people were like, oh my God, she's so much older than him, so much older than him. Meanwhile, you have like Leonardo DiCaprio dating like preteens, like,
Right.
Yeah.
like 21-year-olds, and that guy's like 60 now. Which is probably not 60. I think
I
he's
was
like,
like, really?
48. Yeah.
I think he's like pushing 50. But like his counterparts are always like half his age.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have nasty little Dane Cook getting engaged to his longtime girlfriend in air quotes because she was like 18 when they started dating.
Right. But did you guys hear about those poker nights?
Yes, the game nights.
Creepy.
No.
That's very
No.
creepy.
Tell me.
He basically had like young women over for game nights. And by young women, I mean, it was like Chloe Grace Moretz was there when she was like 14 or 15.
They had like a bunch of people and they were 16 going, and they're like looking at the pictures and they're like, oh, in their 40s. And you're like, why are 40-year-old men hanging out with 16-year-old girls?
It's
Even if you're
so
famous,
creepy.
weird.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this, like so, it's so uncomfortable. I can't, like, my mom would have lost it.
Oh my God. I'm going to go over to 40-year-old man's house tonight, Mom. See you later.
But like, maybe it was just like, even like a couple of years ago, it was like, well, they're famous, it's about networking, it's connections. And it's like, now it's like, oh my God, this doggy is snoring.
I was like, I don't like this story.
Snooze fest.
I didn't even mean it with that. But yeah.
When do men reach full maturity? Is it like
My
25,
mom said
26?
40. 40. My mom always said 40. She said this. I just shut
That's
up.
You know,
funny.
Matt.
That's funny.
When do men reach full maturity?
I don't know.
Looking at Matt. Matt, tell us right now.
I don't know.
You're
I'll
not,
Google
I'm
it.
Still not
You're not
fully
fully
mature.
mature.
I guess not. I'm not 40.
I'll ask the internet.
All right,
Yeah,
David. Was it Rakoff? Someone I really liked said that we all have like an innate age. Like he had his innate age was like 41, even when he was younger. What is everyone's innate age?
Oh.
Like how old do you feel?
Yeah, how old do you feel? And like consistently, you've kind of like felt that age.
43.
43. No, way. Read the fact. Wait, who's 43?
This is according to the telegraph.co.uk. Men grow up at 43, 11 years later than women.
My mom was right.
Yeah, men
measured by
finally
what?
grow at the
What are
age
we-
of 43.
What are we measuring? Just
A study into the differences in maturity between genders revealed both men and women agree men remain immature well into their 30s. Oh, so it's just like asking. This was like a
Yeah.
This is like
This is
are
like
men
men are
immature?
from Mars
Yes, no.
and women are from Venus.
yeah.
This is as far as the science went.
Yeah, it's maybe not a science.
I mean, all these other ones are like 43.
I'm sure it's just a brain develops at 27 for both.
Yeah, I was gonna be
I
like
think that's just
25, 27.
25 we got on here. I'm seeing 25 and 43. So
I think it depends like what culture you are and like what city you live in too. Like, right? Like, I matured. I feel like way late, but or haven't gotten there yet.
In what ways? Tell us more.
I just feel like where, like if you living in a city when like from when I was a young age, like, and then I felt like I was really mature in college. I had like an older boyfriend and I like studied a lot and like worked at a restaurant and I like didn't like party a lot. And then like after I broke up with him and I like graduated from college, I like then partied for like 10 years. So I think like
Made up for it.
yeah, and I continue to. I just think it's like the people you're around. Like, I mean, like city people you're more
Independent.
yeah, and maybe that's not true. Maybe like I'm speaking from my own experience. I'm sure there's lots of people all over the country are having those similar experiences. But I feel like at least the culture of like LA and New York that I was in was like you were partying harder later, not getting married and sleeping around, right? Right? I don't know. You guys are silent, leaving me hanging here.
It's just you. Actually.
Basically, what I'm saying is everyone gets married later a lot of times. You know?
Yeah, in cities for sure.
Yeah, in cities for sure.
Yeah.
Small
No,
hometowns. No.
I also grew up in a city, and I feel you.
Yeah.
I'm not. We're not leaving you hanging. These guys all Chicago. Well,
I grew
Well,
up
I didn't
in
grow
the-
up in Chicago.
Yeah, I didn't grow up in
suburbs.
LA. I grew up
Yeah.
in Connecticut. I'm like, but it's like kind of those like when you then are like around 28 and you're like looking on Facebook and you're like, wow, everyone's getting married and having kids.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then you're like, not my current friends.
Oh, yeah.
But wait, I want to know everyone's in age.
Oh yeah.
How old we feel?
Yeah, like consistently.
I
so.
feel like I've always felt 30. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was always very responsible growing up. You know, not go out too much, just a little bit.
Yeah.
but now that you're over 30, do you feel
Still feel
like you're
30.
younger?
Yeah, in my mind, I still feel like I'm like 23. You know,
Oh, yeah.
like I could still do things like I did when I was 23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not
And then
true.
you get, like,
It's not
tendonitis
true.
in your
Yeah, and then I get tendonitis. Exactly.
Yeah. How old do you think you are, Mags?
I feel like I'm like 24. Yeah, because I like am past the legal drinking age, but I also feel like I have a lot of teenage Maggie tendencies still that I carry with me.
Like what?
Being silly, how I furnish my house. I still have stuffed animals. I like play really loud music when I get ready in the morning. I don't know. I love that.
I'm imagining blow up furniture.
jelly blow up chairs with
I have jelly sandals. I can't do my laundry unless someone's like entertaining me. I don't know. Just stuff like that.
I get all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm like 35.
35?
I've always felt older,
Yeah.
even when I was younger. Well, and I always dated people who were older than me. I was in that statistic.
Yeah.
Of the older men.
I
young
was too.
women.
I was too.
I think like 35 because I've always been kind of responsible.
Kind of.
Kind of. I would say I'm either like very responsible or like very, very reckless. Like I don't have a middle.
You're like our worry person, you know?
Yeah.
You don't love taking risks.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
it
it
depends
depends
how
on the
quickly you
risk.
can get me into it. I'm like very easily convinced. I'm very easy to like, you tell me something, I'm like, wow, that is.
Parasailing? Done.
Yeah, done. I was like, put me up there.
Put no parasailing for me.
No?
No.
We've all done it. We did it together.
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
It's a blast.
What
It's
are
a
your
blast.
hang-ups on parasailing?
I don't know. The risk of death.
So you definitely won't bungee or
No
skydive.
Parasailing, you're like hooked up to the thing. Do you
There's a
think you're
very
going
low
to
risk
fall
on
and
this.
then
There
get
is
dragged?
a low risk. I don't know. I just feel like it's pushing it. Like I don't know. There's lots of
true.
things I
That's
can do
true.
in life that's enjoyable. I just feel like I have a fear of heights, but in a normal human way. Yeah. Where I should be afraid of them because
You're rationalizing your fear of heights right now.
because you die if you fall. So thank you very much. I'm sure I could be convinced to do it in the moment, but it's not something that I'm like,
must. Do.
yeah, I must. And Eric from The Bachelor died doing it.
Really?
Yeah. There was a guy from The Bachelor died doing it. Fact check me.
Yeah, you've been making lots of claims today.
I know. That's why I'm saying
Like
this.
a running list.
Yeah. But I think so.
Whoa.
But yeah, I don't know.
That's
But
crazy.
wait, I wanted to know Ariel's.
Oh, mine would probably be my late 30s.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm living my best life right now.
Oh, that's
you know,
amazing.
where like I'm going to bed at like 9. You know, waking up at like 6. Yeah, you guys, I could like if it's 9 p.m. Ned and I are like, oh, we really shouldn't watch another one.
I've tried a couple brands of CBD before, but I really didn't think they worked. You know, I would sit there and I would wait and then get kind of stressed out thinking about whether or not it's working. And that's why I love Next Evo Naturals. At night when I'm having trouble sleeping, I literally just reach for my Next Evo Naturals and I fall asleep so easily. SmartSorb technology improves CBD's ability to be absorbed, getting into your system in as little as 10 minutes. Next Evo is backed by more scientific studies than any other CBD brand and is developed by experienced professionals. Stop wondering if CBD is right for you. Try Next Evo Natural capsules, gummies, mints, and topical creams clinically proven to be better absorbed by your body. Get 25% off your first order of $40 or more at nextevo.com with promo code SITWITHUS. That's 25% off at nextevo.com. Promo code SITWITHUS.
Like last night we were
like when I get started.
We were finishing The Bear, and it was
Yes, so good.
but it was 9, like it was like 9:08, and we were and we were like, oh, should we really watch the season finale?
Yeah.
And we sort of looked at each other like, let's do it. You know, like it was this big deal.
Miles, that's coming for you next.
Those are 20-minute episodes.
The final one was like 45.
I have always been a night owl, though. I will say that's like my cousins, like they still stay up late. So we'll see. I'm such a bad, terrible morning person and Miles is a good morning person that this will be an adjustment that I'm scared about. Yeah. I even as a kid, I was a night person. I've felt like I'm 24, maybe more like Maggie, or like 14.
Yeah. I was going to say like lower than legal age, but I didn't want to be too weird. You know?
I'll do it for you. I feel naturally
like,
14.
14-year-old Maggie, I don't know if we want to know her. I don't know if we want her
Really?
around.
I definitely want to know
her.
What were you like at 14?
I was just a weirdo.
Dorky. I feel like she's probably dorky.
That's the best.
I'm pretty awkward now. Can you imagine at 14?
I don't think you're awkward.
I mean, we're all a little awkward. In our own way.
Sure. Yeah.
Man,
I think but my mom's 71 and she says she still feels 14.
that's cute.
So I want to hold on to that, I guess, of that like fun and things of energy. But you never know. You also evolve and change. And I'm sure kids, as my mom says, changes everything in your life.
Oh, yeah.
But I just can't comprehend the 9 thing. I can't wrap my brain around it.
Well, so I mean, if you think about it this way, our evening starts at like 5.
Yeah.
And we have dinner at like 5:45. You know, and the kids are in bed by 7:30. And so Ned and I are starting our evening at 7:30, you know, when normal people are like starting to make dinner, you know? And so everything happens 2 to 3 hours earlier.
What time do you wake up naturally in the morning?
Now, 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you wake up like, or do you wake up like, I have never not waken up.
That's Ned too. He's not a morning person, but I wake up and I'm like,
Are you kidding me?
I love it. Yeah, I know.
I would switch with you. I have literally, if you wake me up at 11, I'm still like, like I don't know what it is. That is like, I feel like I wake up like with like a depressed 5 minutes and I have to get through it. It's like I have like a dark net over me that I'm like, this process now I have to seep through and get my head out of before, you know. So any moment to go back to sleep, I'm like, oh, thank you so much. You know, it's like a whole process, and then you have to go through the net again and then go back. Ariel, I'm so jealous.
It wasn't always like that.
When do you have coffee, Ariel?
When do I have coffee?
Yeah.
First thing.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely first thing.
I was ready for you to be like, hot water and lemon.
I was like, she's going to tell me she doesn't drink
First,
that anymore.
I take a shot of apple cider vinegar, and then I take a shot of olive oil. No, oh God, no. I'm like, I
Oh my
wake
God.
up, and usually it's one of my kids who gets up first. And so, actually, the thing for the last like probably year, it's Wes screaming from the bathroom, "Mommy, I'm all done." And
He's going to the bathroom on his own?
Yeah, well, he gets out of bed, he takes off his nighttime diaper, and then he goes poop, but he cannot wipe himself. So I have to get out of bed and wipe his bottom, and then the two of us go out into the like living room. I start making coffee. He just sort of futzes around for a little while, and then I'm like drinking my coffee sort of like this and talking to my son, and then Finn wakes up, and then Ned wakes up eventually.
So Miles, look what you get to do in the morning.
I love early
Me
morning.
and Ned
You get to wipe.
always
Wipe some butt
You
stuff.
get to wipe.
Yeah.
and you can wipe the butt. Perfect. I'll do nighttime duties because I'm already imagining this and crying to myself.
I feel like nighttime's a little worse, honestly, than morning time.
Yeah, nighttime
Yeah, 'cause
gets
the whole
gets
nighttime
crazy.
duty. They're
Like
crying
putting
all
them to-
night, have to get up, you know?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
Sure, man.
Your face just totally like depressed.
No. I'm like when they're older. Yeah, I can buck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta buck
I
up.
can buck
You're gonna
up.
step up to
Ariel's
the
just
plate.
like laughing inside her head, being like,
Yes,
"You have
she
no idea what's about to
No,
happen.
you're gonna be fine.
It will be fine.
Ariel
It'll be
definitely
fine.
has a smirk.
It's a knowing smirk. I know it's gonna come. I know it's gonna come, and I'm gonna come in here being like, "How's it going?" And I'm gonna be like,
No, I have a smirk because I know you guys are both gonna kill it and not kill it. I didn't think that.
"That was not where I was." I went with the colloquial phrase of "kill
you.
it." It's my head.
Wow, that was a really
Ariel.
poor word choice.
It's a he,
I know.
Ariel. It's a he.
I know you guys are going to do amazing. I know you guys are going to do amazing. But yeah, I mean, like we were one of the first of our friends to have kids. And so I can't tell you how excited I am to see like other friends have kids and just do so well, you know, because like all I remember is telling people how hard it is, but you know, because nobody wants to hear like, oh, it's amazing. I love my children are like such a joy. You know, I feel like all I ever said was just like, I'm a fucking zombie right now.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But no, I can't wait. I can't wait for you to be like, look at this little squish muffin.
I know. It's mostly exciting and like, yeah. Well, I woke up this just like a couple days ago, and I was like, Mouse, I'm excited to meet this person. Like all of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, we're gonna get to meet a person. I love nothing more than new people. You know? Welcome to the party. It's a party. I'm an extrovert.
You're so fun. You're just like, I love people. This is great.
This is gonna be good.
I
Guys.
can't wait to meet this person.
Yeah, I am excited to meet this person. I think like also when you're, you know, when you love your partner so much too, you're excited to be like, oh, I'm excited to see his parts, you know, and your son too. And I think, you know, I just, Miles and I have talked about this a lot, but you're like, I hope, you know, he is sensitive and kind and warm and creative. And I think that's all. Like my mom always said, like, you're going to mess the kids up no matter what. Just make sure they're built up enough that they can go to therapy, you know, like,
And eventually write a one-woman show.
yeah, eventually,
about-
right. Yeah. So like, I think like I'm okay with like, there are mistakes going to be happen. I'm not going to be perfect. I'll, you know, all of those things. But as long as there's like, you know, love in the house is what I'm leaning towards. I'm sure I'll be like, talk to me in 2 years and I'm like covered in vomit and shit. And I'm like, just as long as they survive. But, you know, like, yeah, I think that's mostly my concern is like keeping them alive, I think is on the forefront of my brain.
Yeah, that's a pretty big
Yeah.
aspect of it, I think.
It seems hard.
I think that, yeah.
Right?
It's not easy.
Yes, Ariel,
It's like a daily struggle.
And, it's an adjustment. Miles and I have lived with my best friend for 5 years.
Yeah. So was Kendall staying?
She bought a house. Can you imagine if I was like, yeah, Kendall's staying? She bought a house 2 blocks away.
2
blocks.
Yeah, so she's
amazing.
she's excited.
nice.
Yeah, she's going to be his godmother, so she's
She's
excited.
so fun too.
She's very funny. She's excited to be like to tease him that he took her room.
That is true.
Kicked her out of the house.
She's like, that's where my bed was once.
yeah. So it's we've lived there when Kendall and I moved in. It was like we got this house in Silver Lake, and it was like there's like a post, and we were like ready to we were like jumping on the beds, being like, we're so happy, we're single and having fun, and we'd party every night, and then we've all lived together as a house but sometimes I think the plumbers think we're a throuple.
Why the plumber specifically?
Yeah, how many
Okay, or
times are
anyone-
plumbers there?
Anyone working on the house,
Do you know, Miles? They have a lot of plumbing issues.
There are a lot of plumbing
That's
issues.
true.
Didn't you have a sewage thing?
A sewage problem.
Yeah. Didn't you have something come
Becky,
up in
hey,
your
can you
backyard?
not bring that up right now? It's kind of like a personal thing, and I just don't feel comfortable. I wanted to feel safe today.
I'm so sorry.
No, our sewage
Cut it, Miles. Cut it. Cut it.
I hate renting. Our landlord
It's an
sucks.
old, it's a heritage house.
It's a heritage house.
Yeah.
Does have
It
a
is
lot
from
of character.
1920.
That's what happens.
Yeah, she just doesn't take care of it. And the tree branches, it's a thing, got in the plumbing, and it was gross. And our poop was going down the sidewalk. It was awesome.
Yeah. Cute moment.
Yeah, it was so
cute.
cool. Yeah, we have some plumbing issues, but not our house. So,
Yeah.
and
So not your problem.
Yeah, we did have a wedding at the house without telling her. So
Hopefully she's not listening.
let the world be known. She's not listening. No, she doesn't listen to podcasts. How rude. What a bitch. Yeah, maybe. I hate her.
We should send her this episode.
Yeah, let's send it to her. No, I just have anger because, it's like at that point where you're like, you want to own a house and the market's crazy, and you're just getting frustrated, so that's my anger. Not her fault, but the plumbing is her fault.
Definitely her fault.
Yeah.
Definitely
Definitely
her
her
fault.
fault.
That's definitely not your fault.
Yeah.
Sarah, when did you find out you're pregnant? Like, what was the moment when you took the test?
Oh, that's a good moment. So we were trying for, a little bit. And then my gyno said I could take, the earliest I could take it was on a Friday. And so I was at work and I took a test, and it was in the bathroom. We went to Walgreens, and I took a test in the bathroom, and it was a faint line.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think that is anything, but maybe it is. I texted someone, I was like, maybe a faint line. And then it was no, a faint line is
Faint line means there's
something
there.
Yeah. So everyone has these cute videos of telling their partner, oh, sweetheart, come in the room. And they
Look at my pee stick.
Yeah, they open a present and all these things.
And then they're like, you have COVID?
Oh, yeah, that guy's
so
video.
funny. I love that video. No, I texted Miles being like, I think I'm pregnant. I couldn't wait. And then you called immediately. You're like, what? And I was like, I think, I don't know. We have to see it. And then we got home, and then, and then we were Googled it, and it was yes, it's basically
It's
it.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, but it was still a little early. So there's something called a clinical pregnancy, right? And then there's a chemical pregnancy. And the chemical pregnancy, a lot of times people don't know they get pregnant, and then it will go away by the time, your period comes, your period will come or whatever.
Basically, the pregnancy tests, the way that they work is they, and Maggie, you can fact check me on this, but there's a certain enzyme that's in, or that's in your blood or your pee when when an embryo is formed, I guess, or the egg unites with the sperm, then it makes this
HCG or something like that.
yeah. And that's what the pregnancy test is finding.
Yeah.
And so if you're early in pregnancy, then there isn't as much, and that's why it's such a faint line. And the the egg can meet up with the sperm, but it could not implant.
Right.
And so
Rejected.
that's usually what happens is like, you know, like there was a little bit of that to be on a pregnancy test, but then it didn't take.
Right. So that's why a lot of people recommend not taking it early. I just didn't know this yet. So then because then you might get excited for something that maybe, you know, didn't take.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that. So then the next couple of days I was buying like 10 a day or something, you know, like but it did take, but it is nerve wracking, you know, and it's just like, yeah, it's like, I wish, like, why don't we know all this stuff? You know, like we should have been taught way more all about this stuff, you know, like, I've been following Emily Oster, which I think you do too.
Love her.
Yeah, and she's incredible. And it was like, oh, this is such like a smart educational way to like learn all this stuff and to like be facts. And it's not like tales and, you know, so it's been like more like informed of like, okay, I'm going into this and it's like not my fault or all these different things, you know? So it was helpful, but yeah, it was an exciting moment, but still I was like, don't get too excited. Yeah. You know, so, you know, like, you know, you're just like, I was just like, I can't get too excited, you know?
Did you buy the really expensive pregnancy test? Because a lot of people don't know that tests that they sell at the dollar store are the ones. I used to work right next to OB-GYN when.
I would have loved to have done that.
Yeah.
They really, at CVS, they could only offer like the early test ones that are expensive. I couldn't find the dollar ones. I know there's a dollar ones. And the woman that like invented the pregnancy test, do you guys know about her?
No.
She's really cool. Fact check me on this. Don't give me a mic. She invented like the pregnancy test. It was this really cool thing, but I don't think she wanted any money from it. The whole idea was that it was supposed to be
accessible.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
I just fact
companies
checked
just made it really expensive.
myself. HCG is a hormone.
Yep.
Yes.
There you go.
And the hormones have been, like that has been like an interesting thing too, of like the thing of like being hungry and like crying and things like that. I've always been hungry. Yeah. I really don't know if it's
No changes.
Yeah. I've always been starving my entire life. So I don't know. Everyone's like, dude, you feel so much hungrier. And I really genuinely am like, yeah. Freshman year, I was also very hungry. I don't know. So it seems like, and also I would cry at midnight, you know? So, but now I get to blame something.
Yeah.
We were in Florence and I saw this opera singer, and you guys, I wish you could have been there to see this moment. He was on the street, and what is it called? He was
Singing?
what's that thing called? Busking. He was busking. Yeah, where he was opening his mouth and music was coming out. No, what's that thing called? You know, no, he was busking, and he was this incredible opera singer, and you know, and then all these people clapped, and his face. The lit up, just like this biggest like approval. He was so happy. He pleased everyone, and I burst into tears because I just like as a performer, I know that feeling of like, oh my God, of like they loved me. They really loved me. You know, just feeling so complete. I could just feel his like joy and content of his art, like, you know, it just, I was just sobbing with gelato, you know, it was just like this big
magical.
It was magical. I'll never forget it. It was just so beautiful to see.
Oh,
yeah.
So there's flavored gelato.
I know. Do I have a favorite gelato?
Oh, no, I was saying tear favored.
But do you have a favorite gelato? I was like,
can we talk about gelato? I mean, yeah, let's transition. What's your fave? What's your fave?
No, I like it all.
Becky's been waiting to ask you that the whole time.
I didn't want to be weird, but I do have a couple questions about gelato on my phone.
Stupid of me. I'm sorry. Yes, Becky, thank God you've asked. I've always wanted to answer that question. My favorite gelato, I actually don't know. I liked it all.
It was
lemon. Lemon, I was a big fan of. Mango.
Oh,
Yeah, but mostly
flavors.
lemon. Yeah.
Lemon is actually your favorite.
Yeah, actually, I do have an answer. I would like to make this clear. I'm not cool. I've always wanted to talk about this. I love lemon gelato, and I work for big gelato. I work for Big Lemon Gelato. And I'm so glad we were brought to this moment.
Well, Sarah, we're always, grateful when you're here, and we're so happy to give you a platform to talk about your favorite gelato.
Oh God.
It has been a wild ride, but such a fun, exciting ride. We love having you here. Everyone, keep an eye out on Sarah's socials, which is now not Pizzy Pete anymore.
Yeah. It's Pizzy Bon, which, did I have a breakdown of my identity changing? Sure. Did Miles and I have some fights where he said, I didn't ask you to change your name? This was all you? And I said, yes, that is right. I would have never done it if you asked me to do it. This was my decision. But I did have a couple of breakdowns because I lost my identity. I felt like, but I chose your name because I thought it sounded cooler. But then I felt like a bad feminist. Yeah, I had a couple of moments. But I am confident in my decision now. And it is Pizzy Bon. We got there.
Pizzy Bon.
Yes.
She's going to have all the information about when her one-woman show is coming out next, as the shows are currently sold out. So keep an eye out. Thanks for listening today. Thanks for sitting with us, Sarah. And make sure everyone's washing your hands. Get vaccinated for all the things you can get vaccinated for. Monkeypox, COVID. Apparently polio's back.
Measles.
Yeah.
All of it.
Measles. Things are making a comeback that were eradicated,
Right.
truly eradicated, and then they came back. Pee after sex so you don't get UTIs. Make sure you're washing your hands. If you're in a big crowded space, wear your mask, huh?
Love that.
Yeah. Be nice to people. Tip your servers. Any advice you have, Sarah?
When the opportunity comes to be kind, I'm trying to take it. It's so easy to like not say anything or not to do the kind move because you're like, ugh, it's kind of an effort thing. If someone's being an asshole in the line, like, it's important to be kind or stick up for people. It's like,
Yeah.
that's my advice is like, I'm personally trying to be kinder because I can be kinder. Like, don't yell at the person on the phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can take this out because I already feel stupid. It was too genuine.
Be kind.
Be kind.
Be beautiful.
Yeah,
Be
I think we
kind.
just should be. It's hard. It's sometimes hard to be kind.
Make the effort to be a nice person.
Yeah, it takes effort because it's like kind of exhausting, right?
Love.
Yeah,
Make
so,
the effort to be kind.
to be kind.
Kinder.
Yeah, and if someone's singing, you better goddamn clap for them.
Clap and start crying.
Yeah,
go ahead.
start
Those
crying.
are the best reactions
yes.
that they will love.
Yes. And thank you guys so much for having me. It was a blast. I really appreciate you
It's always
having
a
me
pleasure.
on and letting me say a bunch of facts that should be fact checked.
We might have to label this episode "Sarah is right and maybe wrong about."
I'm like 90% chance I could be wrong. Yeah, it's definitely. So never trust what I say is what I say.
Okay, so it's going to
Sarah is a liar. Yes, Sarah is a liar. Great.
Perfect.
I'm not pregnant.
Oh, no, don't say that.
Oh my God.
No, I am.
Well, we will see you guys next time. And Sarah, come visit us anytime. Open invitation. We'll see you guys next week. Bye. Bye.